Mic check, 1 2 1 2. What's up? You're tuning in live and direct to Naoto's interlude, and you are with your host Naoto Wakabayashi, and I'm here today to review Certified Lover Boy. So, after a year of release announcements, suggestions, delays, and endless rumors, we finally got Certified Lover Boy, everybody. To be honest, I thought this project was good, but I just want to add that I felt the expectations that were built up over the course of this year and some change were certainly attainable. Drake was just not able to achieve any of them throughout this project. I'll explore why throughout my breakdowns of it, but I'm just going to say, Drake fans, I'm part of you guys. I'm part of the collective. Please don't crucify me for this. And to help out a young, burgeoning creator out, please hit the subscribe if you haven't done it already. Please comment on the video. Like it. Okay? Like it for the YouTube algorithms. I'm going to need all of that. All right? So let's get straight into it. All right. Enough of the chit chat. Let's start with the rollout of this thing. In my opinion, Drake's entire rollout leading up to this release was executed to perfection. Despite the numerous delays, Drake kept fans satiated with excellent releases such as the Scary Hours EP and Dark Lane demo tapes. He also kept that heart-shaped part in his fade even after it got messed up since he got COVID. And fans started joking that it looks like we're not going to get into that right now. On the Monday before the project dropped on Thursday night, those billboards with the names of the featured artists in the cities that they were from, they were brilliantly done. I feel that there's certainly a degree of regionality that Drake taps into for his records, and he effectively capitalized on all of that by having those city-specific ones throughout the world. And by doing so, he immediately started the Monday before his project dropped with a viral moment. It definitely captured the attention of everybody that was buzzing about Donda after its release the prior weekend. The music is good, far from his best, but it's good. I enjoyed this album from start to finish, but the music just doesn't take enough risk. Now, hold up. I'm not one of those people that thinks Drake should be spitting over live jazz instrumentation or he should be talking about stock prices and social inequality, but this album felt safe, even for a Drake project. Typically with his releases, he has songs that make lasting impacts that certainly shake the generation, and a few others that are honestly god-awful and straight up ruin the flow of the project. And what am I talking about? Some of these songs are Make Me Proud on Take Care, 305 to My City on Nothing Was the Same, You and the Six on If You're Reading This It's Too Late, Elevate on Scorpion, just to name a few. Despite these tracks being absolute garbage and ruining the overall listening experience, you still get a sense that at least he's trying new styles, new flows, and new sounds that attempt to separate themselves or marginally improve from what's already out there. On Certified Lover Boy, you don't get these songs on here, for better and for worse. The outcome is that this project feels cohesive and sequences well together, but nothing truly sticks out or hits you across the face. I mean, depending on how you look at it, not having songs that stick out like a sore thumb is certainly an improvement. He just negatively trends in the other direction as well. Let's get into the specifics, shall we? Let's get straight into the music. Off the rip. Champagne Poetry is a great intro and displays that he's really good at this rap shit. He expertly weaves in and out of rhyme schemes and flows. The sampling of Sego is beautiful, and it's amazing seeing him get massive placements like this. Masego's voice works so well as a chipmunk sample, and it's surprising that he hasn't gotten a look like this before. Yo, at the halfway point of this song, we get an insane beat switch featuring an angelic gospel sample. What this section sounds like? It sounds like you're riding an escalator to heaven. The wordplay with second guess is just top tier lyricism. I mean, he says, I don't have to second guess nothing with no one I love. About to build a second guess house because we grown too much. Second guess nothing. Second guess how. Come on, man. Come on, man. Stop playing with him. Stop playing with him. Crazy. Crazy. You know, Papi's Home is a fitting follow-up track to this. That Montel Jordan sample and that booming instrumental was appropriate given the tone that was set by the intro. I feel that Champagne Poetry certainly reached a crescendo towards the end of it, and I feel like Papi's Home was that extra juice, that extra battery in the back that just kept that momentum going. It was honestly a really beautiful transition. Yo, and this song has got to have his best flow on the entire project. And yo, with the toxic ass bars too, like he says, I remember that I told you I miss you. That was kind of like a mass text. I remember that I told you I loved you, and that was really in the past tense. Yo. Yo. He also laces in a subliminal that definitely targets Kendrick as well. Something about how rappers are out here collaborating with pop artists because they're not popping off. Yo. With all that being said, as much as I enjoyed that track, I feel like we've already been here with Drake, to be honest. But anyways, moving on. I mean, I guess Drake shakes things up with Girls Want Girls with the line, say that you're a lesbian. Yeah, me too. Like, what? What a stupid ass line. Yo, okay, you know what? All that being said, I know that it's tongue in cheek and it is meant to sexualize and I guess hetero-eroticize lesbian relationships, if that makes sense. Is hetero-eroticize even a word? It sounds correct, so we're going to roll with it. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, this track was okay. Like Lil Baby did his thing, but it was fine. I didn't hate it, but it's passable. You know, it's good, but it's passable. But you know what though? The end of this track features ridiculously catchy singing from Drake that we got all too little of on this project. Honestly, we really feel this lack of great melodic singing from Drake and a little bit of a sense of been there, done that, especially with the fourth track. I mean, hey, I liked In the Bible, but the beat feels atmospheric with those backing bass synths and the distant vocal sample. But again, it sounds like something that we would have gotten from Drake in his Views era, but maybe a little bit less inspired. Like, Lil Durk has a really good feature with a lot of energy, and I really love the part, like a lot of other people, where he shouts out his girl and her business. I thought that was really cool, and you know what? Giveon also has a classic emerging R&B singer showcase that sometimes present themselves throughout Drake projects, but overall, I just found that Drake's vocals don't really take this track over the edge in a way that you know he can. And like I kind of touched upon, this instrumental is kind of just there. One thing, though, that I won't put against this album is my disappointment of Love All. Not because I thought Jay-Z's verse was underwhelming or because I dislike the production or I can't stand Drake's vocals. I actually like all of those things. This is just a classic case of a leaked track taking away from the final version of it. So after the second hook, right as Ho's verse is supposed to come in, the leaked track features a hauntingly beautiful beat and tone switch. Drake comes back in with the most toxic verse he created in a very, very long time. This is Diamond's dancing level toxic. He starts it off with, "You should slide through and get your back broke." Yo, this man needs to chill. This man needs to relax. He says, "You should slide through and get your back broke," and proceeds to toxically dissect his relationship with Georgia Smith. He doesn't really name her, but him saying, "Said you left me jaded and I wasn't joking," is a clear indicator for me, since Jaded was about their relationship that seems to affect him still. Grown ass man. Anyway, this man is a whole grown ass man. How old is he? 36? Jesus Christ. And I'm just going to say, even though that the second half of the track that elevated this song is missing, I still enjoy the album version that dropped. Jay sounds fantastic, and I still have the leaked version to listen to, so it's not the worst thing in the world. And like I said, I'm not going to put this against the album. I just thought this would be an interesting thing to dissect, potentially, if you gave a fuck. But moving on. Another thing that I want to add is Way Too Sexy is overhated. I'm sorry, it just is. This song is about to ring off in all the club venues for the rest of the year. The sample is ridiculous. This interpolation is ridiculous. This beat is ridiculous. And this future hook is straight up iconic. All three of them, Thug, Drake, Future, did great with this song. Just because it's kind of weird and like tongue in cheek, come on, man. It's fun. This song is fun. This song is a lot of fun. It's not meant to be taken seriously at the end of the day, you know? This song is great. It's not meant to be taken serious. For real, though, doesn't Drake sound like Ram Riddles in Too Deep? And also, the way he sings the chorus sounds like So Far Gone Drake. But all I gotta say is that second part of this track, it was amazing. Where it kind of transitions into that that murky and dark trap instrumentation where it features the Future verse. That part carried that song. So, oh yeah, I almost forgot about this. Another highlight on here has to be Pipe Down. This soulful production sounds like something he would usually rap over, but instead he sings over it as he chronicles his toxic escapades and gaslighting with a single love interest. There's just absolutely no degree of self-awareness or responsibility in any of this track. So, hey, if you're into that, you'll probably love this song. Hey, look, I won't do a breakdown of all of these tracks, otherwise this review is going to feel way too bloated. So I'll go through some of these other noteworthy songs, but the overall point is this. I like these songs, okay? They're good to me. They just don't shake my core in the way that other highlights from his previous albums have. None of these tracks are groundbreaking or sound like long-lasting mega hits. Where's the Tuscan Leather, the Marvin's Room, the Headlines, the Jungle, the Know Yourself? You know? The tracks on here, they just range within the scale of fine to good. It just doesn't break past the barrier that Drake normally does. Even on rapping ass songs like You Only Live Twice, The Remorse, and 7 a.m. on Bridal Path, they come too far in between. I feel that through these tracks, Drake is really able to flex his charisma and technical ability throughout. He 100% sounds so hungry on these tracks. They're easily some of the most likable songs. And without any massive mega hits on this project, I feel that this particular body of work is just relying on these types of songs to carry it and to provide moments in the highlight reel. But honestly, I feel like he doesn't get into this bag as much as he should when these songs were so fire. Yo, Wayne and Ross went absolutely crazy. Their contributions reminded me of the prime Young Money and Maybach music years in that 012, 013. Okay, we're not going to say 012, 013. Let's say 2012, 2013 type of space that they were all in, but with much more refined technical ability. Yo, they went absolutely bonkers. On 7 a.m. on Bridal Path, Drake sets his sights on Kanye. And wow, he did not let his foot off his neck. From the Boombaye line to where he goes, I could give a fuck about who designing your sneakers and tees. Have somebody put you on a Gildan, you play with my seed. Whoo! Woo! Yo, don't play with that man. Don't play with him. He also says, give that address to your driver, make it your destination. That whole section where he's talking about Kanye sharing his address. Drake, why are you barring this man to death? You know he can't compete. You guys, everybody here that's watching this right now, you know that Kanye cannot compete. And I'm a massive Ye fan, but he is not known for going toe-to-toe with other rappers. Drake, can you please go toe-to-toe with Kendrick already? We sense the tension in the room. Ye absolutely got smoked on this, but I feel like Kanye isn't capable of crafting effective diss tracks. And honestly, I'm so tired of this beef. Can you guys just end it already? I can't believe both of you guys hurt 3 Stacks, but more on all of that later. Race My Mind has got to be a top 3 track for me on this project, easily. The production is gorgeous. It's classy. And Drake's melodies are so pleasant. Yo, the beat switch on this reminds me so much of the leaked version of Love All. This is exactly what I was looking for.
This is exactly what I've been waiting for. This is exactly, I don't mean to sound like Cat Williams, but this is exactly what I've been waiting for.
The atmosphere of the second half is exactly what I was looking for. And you know that when those underwater drums come in, Drake is about to come correct. He did what he needed to do on this. He didn't really push the envelope, but that's okay. I mean, he had that recent pick line that was crazy. But other than that, he wasn't spinning that shit on here for the most part. But that's okay. That's okay. I still really like this song. Fountains is exactly what I was also looking for, but on a track with Thames. The production is so minimal and stripped down, but it's effective in allowing Drake and Thames to talk about romance in such a low-key and sultry way. Both of them let the themes of longing and seduction come to life. Yes, it is down tempo, and I feel like this isn't something that Thames typically sings over in terms of how down tempo it is, but she bodied this, and Drake complimented her hook so well. But I really love how all of it was building up to her verse, and she absolutely dominated the remainder of the track. Like, what? Oh, this is just such a great showing for her. Also, generally speaking, the featured tracks were decent to strong on this project. Knife Talk, Get Along Better, I Miss You Too. Like, the features on there were great. Overall, I liked them. Drake absolutely lets the features shine, but Drake's performance still leaves a bit to be desired, if that makes sense. Like, it felt like he was kind of taking a backseat, and I just don't know why he's doing this at this stage of his career. Like, I just know that he can just outshine artists on a track. And sure, he might be giving them a platform in order to do so, but as a result, Drake sounds a little bit uninspired. All right, now that we got the music out of the way and broke down a majority of the tracks that needed to have been broken down, if I missed anything, please let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll talk about it in a separate video. But let me get into my biggest frustration with the release of this project. Drake put out extremely high quality throwaways before the album even dropped. Those songs not only made an immediate impact on audiences as soon as you heard them, don't even lie to me. Those songs shook your core. They did. But not only that, they're still in rotation to this day. This man really put out Lemon Pepper Freestyle, Chicago Freestyle, Laugh Now, Cry Later, What's Next, Wants and Needs, and none of them were on the album. I know I'm missing out certain songs, but what? Granted, while they do have the benefit of time to gain favorable sentiment, these tracks connected with the audiences from the jump. These tracks tap into a degree of memorability, charisma, lyricism, delivery that Drake just simply refused to tap into for Certified Lover Boy. I am so sorry. I apologize that I'm getting this heated, but my question is why? Why, Drake? What was the reason? What was the reason?
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I just explained the reason.
What was the reason, bitch?
I don't need to explain myself to you. And
What was the reason?
How did he hear these songs and listen to the ones that he included for the project and thought that it made sense? I mean, I said this when this track dropped, but Chicago Freestyle felt like Drake was finally tapping into a new era, and it felt like the next logical and evolutionary step to his sound. It sounded like a Take Care or Nothing Was the Same level of track, but on steroids. I genuinely got so hyped after he dropped this. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I cannot name a single track, a single moment that surpasses any part of Chicago Freestyle. Give me a timestamp. Give me a track from CLB. I'm waiting. Nothing has surpassed Chicago Freestyle. And I don't get that. I really don't get it. I really do not understand. I feel that the quality of the music that he dropped as throwaways is the reason why people raised their expectations astronomically to the point that some people were low-key expecting a classic. I'm not saying that was me, but I heard some things out there, all right? You Drake fans are crazy. I'm part of you guys, but some of you guys are crazy. People's interests ultimately were raised because if you're dropping this music outside of the album's release, what are the final tracks going to sound like, you know? I mean, look, we weren't expecting middle of the road type shit, you know? I just feel that with this album, he definitely did take a middling approach. And what I mean by that is the songs on here weren't really good or really bad. They were, like I said, okay, or they were good. But his music never reached the extremes. And ideally, as an artist, you obviously want to reach the really good extreme, but also you want to avoid the really bad categorization of your music too. So, with that being said, I just feel that that's the approach he took. And I feel like this is why the album sounds like what it is. And you know what, though? I still do think that people have been harsh in their criticisms of this album. I mean, you heard what I had to say, but the quality of this music is undeniable. It's good. The songs on here are fun. You know, this album flows very, very well together. As an overall listening experience, it's certainly enjoyable. It's just not particularly memorable or impactful. Look, I mean, the music is good, but we all know that Drake can reach that next level. It's not like he has to switch up his content or his sound, but it's just that you don't really hear that much like noticeable improvement between Drake albums anymore. And that's just a fact. You don't get those jumps that you used to get. And maybe he's just bowing out in his career, but I don't know, man. He also still hasn't reached those musical pinnacles that Jay, Nas, Three Stacks, Big Boy, Ye, Kendrick have all reached. Yes, Drake has his hits and mega hits down, but when it comes to creating cohesive bodies of work that drastically shift the landscape of a genre, he doesn't really have that. He either does one or the other, to be honest. It's just never been consistent with Drake. And he is certainly in that tier with the artists that I mentioned. And you and I know that he's more than capable. He just needs to go out and reach that level of greatness. So, overall, my final thoughts, good, but not a classic. And Drake can do better. We all know that. So, that's all I'm going to say, right? What did you think of this album? What did you think of my thoughts regarding this album? Do you agree, disagree? To be candid with you guys, I'm hoping to do more of these music reviews. This video certainly did take a lot of effort to get done. So, like I said, if you could hit that comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't done so already, please do, because it helps out a small creator like me. So, with all of that being said, this has been Naoto's Interlude, and I'm out.